For you, what is good gaming music, video game music? Is it Skyrim? Is it the just walking around in Skyrim? It's bloody cold in the game. I know you don't feel the temperature, but you know what I mean. And just the whole atmosphere of just soundtrack. Or is it Doom? Another Bethesda game. Well, it's software. But is it Doom? The hard metal that makes you rip apart demons with your own bare hands. Or maybe for my generation, Minecraft. You know what I mean? The Minecraft soundtrack is slightly eerie, but also cozy and a bit therapeutic and good. Just simple and good. Now, there are of course a lot of different good video game soundtrack. Civilization has an incredible soundtrack for the game that it is. The intro song to Elder Scrolls to Civilization 4 is probably one of the best ever. The main menu theme. Paradox games, the Crusader Kings 3 and various have incredible game soundtracks as well. I gone into this video just thinking about what makes a good game, and what makes a good game soundtrack and what is my favorite, and I thought a bit about what is one of the best video game music in my eyes. Now this isn't a ranking or tier list or something. It's just a discussion. Just for example, one of the earliest examples from video game music. It's in the 80s, of course, in 1984, Tetris, and it's probably super catchy and iconic. It's probably the first, maybe even the first iconic video game music. Now, of course, I know Donkey Kong and Pac-Man had themes. Those were more jingles instead of like real music. Or a year later, you had Super Mario Bros. And its overworld theme, which everyone knows besides Tetris is probably the second most iconic soundtrack. In 1986 you have The Legend of Zelda. The overworld theme again is an absolute classic. Or another game. I was, for example, born in 2001, so 10.5 years after this game came out, and it's The Secret of Monkey Island and the intro theme just in general. Something about the soundtrack just feels so cozy, so alive, just so atmospheric, just so good. And remember, this is from 1990, and it's like 7 years after the debacle of E.T. I know it's a bit unrelated. In 1992, you have Mortal Kombat, which is an iconic soundtrack in itself. You have, and one of the probably best soundtracks of all time, Ocarina of Time. The intro song is just so peaceful and somehow so weightful and so incredibly good. It's just so good. And probably for a lot of 90s kids, this soundtrack is probably super iconic from Pokemon. And it's just incredible how simple tones can make something so good and recognizable. The Pallet Town theme is, it feels like a home, feels like it's the start of an adventure. And in general, that's all. For example, for me, my gen, the 3rd gen game remakes when they came out in 2014, the main reason I was super excited for the 3rd gen remakes was the music. And the soundtrack of the Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby is just so incredibly good. Just listen to this. Or the theme from the 2nd town, I think it's... I just don't know the name, but it's written right here. Or for example, the battle theme against the legendaries Kyogre and Groudon, which incorporates the classic theme from the Game Boy Advance into the modern game. Even Pokemon Mystery Dungeon has one of the best soundtracks of all time, and it's just a start. And just for example, I mentioned the Doom games in the beginning. The Doom 2016 soundtrack is one of the most powerful and most engaging soundtracks of all time. I think Doom is one of the games where the soundtrack is like 50% at least of the gameplay experience in this game. Or another Super Mario example. Super Mario Galaxy, my first 3D Mario. Just the intro theme it's just so good. And Super Mario Galaxy, it plays in space, of course, in a galaxy, and the soundtrack feels like space. The soundtrack feels like space. And there are so many, and just appreciating how good all of the soundtracks are. You of course also have Final Fantasy, you have Metal Gear Solid, you have Undertale, one of the more recent examples. The Binding of, for example, the Binding of Isaac. I love the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. The soundtrack was good, but there was a mod that called Antibirth, which is now implemented into the game called Repentance, and the soundtrack of that game, the soundtrack and the music, for example, of the Basement 1 theme, the Basement theme, is so good. Or for example, Portal, the ending theme. It's just so. It just feels like it feels a bit like GLaDOS is mocking you. You know what I mean? It's just so good. There are so many good soundtracks in this video game. In this. I honestly would say that probably the incredibly great music that we had over now 40-30 years in video games. I think none of us would be this much invested into this hobby and into this entertainment genre to not love the game soundtracks, because the soundtracks, often these soundtracks are, I personally connect them with experiences. With, for example, Super Mario Galaxy. I was at the beginning, so Super Mario Galaxy, I got the Nintendo Wii. I got it for Christmas, and the soundtrack since then has burned itself into my eyes. And for example, the first boss fight with Bowser, I was too bad for it because I couldn't finish it, so I had to wait like half a year later. I could do it and I finished the game. Super Mario Galaxy, and I honestly have to say, I think I have to wait for a bad 3D Mario. I think Super Mario Sunshine was a bit more controversial, but I didn't play that because the GameCube wasn't old enough to play those games. Or for example, even licensed games, licensed music. For example, in the FIFA music, for example, for me, every FIFA game had somehow banger soundtracks. Like generally, it's probably again just the vibe of the music and the gameplay that burned itself into my eyes, and just how good some of these soundtracks were from FIFA. Or I'm a Sim Racer, sorry for hitting the microphone. I'm a Sim Racer, for example. Let's talk about Formula 1. The games for F1 2012 has an incredibly intense main menu theme. The entire theme of this main menu just screams racing. It just screams, says, yeah, okay, this is serious. We are about to do serious business. You know what I mean? It's just so good. It's there are. I'm just made this video because I wanted to talk about video games. You know what I mean about video game music, because just the general themes in all of this, and I mentioned Civilization as well. It's just so incredible. What is your favorite video game soundtrack of all time? Or for example, a thing that I can suggest to you: play Minecraft with the Skyrim atmosphere music, with the soundtrack, just general, or Elder Scrolls in general. Elder Scrolls, it's just so good. I genuinely during lockdown and COVID, I had the music on, played Minecraft, and just was in a trance. I turned on the music, I started the game, and I was gone, and like that, 6 hours were passed. It's just so good. General. What is your favorite soundtrack of all time? Write in the comments, subscribe, leave a like. It's just a video. This video is a bit all over the place. I just wanted to talk about video game music. I hope you had fun. Bye bye.